It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
It's your big day. It's your wedding day. What happened that predicted your oncoming divorce? Those stories coming up in just a second. Let's get the podcast rolling, guys.
Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me?
Other people's problems. That's what our OPP segment is all about. You got a little something you want to toss at us? We'd love to get the audience's reaction on this. As we welcome Denise to the show. Tell everybody what's going on right now with you and the hubby.
What I found, especially, with the school year and everything just being so hectic, by the time I get my kids off to school, I like to come back home and just have an hour of quiet time. So I like to do my yoga, meditation, just have some peace before I get into the rest of my day.
Yeah.
And my husband, he's just like, okay, why do you need that much time? Why don't you do it earlier? Or, 15 minutes is fine. All these different random things. I'm like, okay, if it doesn't work for you, cool, but this is what helps me. So why is this even an issue? So he works from home, so he's like playing music and clanging pots and pans, just making noise and not even respecting my time. And I'm like, I'm in a private room. I'm trying not to disturb you and let you do what you got to do. But this is what I need from me. This is what makes me feel recharged and ready to keep running for the day. And I don't know why it's such an issue for him.
I don't like this. I don't like that he is giving you grief and making you feel like less than because this is what you need.
Especially since it's not costing anything.
Exactly. Like it's your mindfulness moment to have 60 minutes of quiet and you feel honestly in your body that he's doing this on purpose to distract you.
Yeah, because he's made the comments like it's so unnecessary and why do you have to do this every single day?
So I'm going to put you on hold for a second, but I would equate this, Kat, in your life to you telling Derek every morning you can't put on a new costume and do a TikTok video because it's ridiculous. You would never tell him that. It's where he finds his joy.
Exactly. So I don't. I come home. I put the costumes away.
Clean up the costumes.
I put them in the crawl space and I go on with my day. So I think something has to be said as far as like a lay down the law conversation. Like you cannot get in the way of my happiness because if I'm not happy, no one in this family is going to be happy. Like, I know when you're supposed to rank everything of who's most important, you are most important, to be honest. Some people put God up there.
To who?
He might be up there. But you are most important because if you're not 100%, like, how can you make your family unit function the way it's supposed to?
This would be the equivalent of me telling my wife to not talk to her dog like a human being and treat her dog like a baby.
Yeah.
It would be a monumental meltdown of our marriage if I was to tell my wife.
And what good does it do for you? Like, why? You got to think about why does it bother you so much? I want her to ask her husband.
Because she's really smart. You know what I mean? Like, she's a
you look at her as a dumb person when she cuddles and nuzzles and...
Those are words I never said.
You didn't have to. And you want to do this game with the nodding of the head.
No, I had an itch. Listen, I'm sure the dog is nice. And the dog has been with her through a lot of stuff. I just can't carry on a civil conversation with an animal. Maybe a chimp.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But she finds great joy in it, so I don't bust her balls.
Yeah.
I just don't do it. I would never talk about it on the radio or say how obscene it is if you talk to your dog. But, I mean, if Derek, what's something that he would just, if he crapped on it and it brings you joy, like going to get facials or Botox.
Yes.
If he was just like, this is the most ridiculous thing in the history of the world, quit wasting our money.
But it
you'd
makes
have a
me feel
giant
better.
problem with it, right?
We would have a giant problem. He used to not want me to go get Botox, but I think that was more of like a medical worry. It wasn't, I don't want you to do it because it makes you happy.
And then he did all his research and found out
that there's still a risk.
Makes you happy?
But it makes me happy. But I want to know if you've ever been out there like dealing with something like this, or you could say like, what is something that your partner does? You just don't understand why they do it.
Like talk to a dog.
what makes your partner happy.
Or put a costume on every day for a TikTok video.
Exactly.
These are perfect examples.
Things that bring people happiness, everybody will have a different answer for you.
What's the thing in your life, maybe, or your partner's life, that you just think it's absolutely ridiculous, but somehow it brings them joy, so they're having a better life, and you just kind of look the other way? What's yours? You want to holler at us real quick? I'm guessing by finding these out and then finding how you guys coexist, this will help Denise a little bit try and figure out how she can tell her husband, hey, this is bringing me to center if I get a couple of minutes in the morning to do some yoga and some meditation.
For me, it would be just a quick screw off. Like, you need to knock it off or we're going to have a huge issue.
So recapping our OPP real quick, we talked to Denise, and basically she loves to have, 60 minutes in the morning to do some reflection, some meditation, a little bit of yoga. And her husband is just like, this is ridiculous. Why can't you just make it 15 minutes? He's making all sorts of noise. Like, he just thinks it's a giant waste of time.
Yeah. She just wants 60 minutes to just, come together with herself, do something that makes her happy, a mindful moment. And he's acting like a toddler almost, banging pots and pans or listening to music. And that's not a nice partner, I don't think.
Julie, you got Denise's back here or what?
I do. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If we don't take enough time for ourselves, and when she actually gets the cojones too, hey, that benefits him in the long run.
I know.
What do you do for yourself?
Take my dog for a walk.
Yeah, that's good, right? That's good downtime. Now, do you talk to your dog like a baby, like my wife does?
Not that often.
Okay. And you feel like you don't need to do that to survive. Because my wife has got this thing where she's probably spending a little bit more time talking to the dog than the family now. Do you find yourself in that position ever?
Maybe you need to step it up in the conversation.
My conversation game is on point.
Okay.
Honestly, my husband's the one that talks to the dog more than I do.
You got bigger
We
issues.
have at least one child at home, so
At least?
Last count.
When we ask people, how many kids do you got? Nobody goes, at least one.
I think we have.
What kind of answer is that?
That was great. That was an answer of a woman that is
somewhere
just doing her best.
1 in 7?
no, 1 in 4.
okay.
So we have at least
1 in 4.
No,
I like when they come home and visit. Hey, I had one of my older children come home this weekend, so that was awesome.
Oh, she has a house like yours where
They,
you never know if one's going to swing by, if someone's going to
They grab all your food, they talk to your dog, and then they leave.
Pretty much.
Kind of like that.
Something like
It's a weird lifestyle we've all grown accustomed to. So, but what if your husband was to tell you, hey, you're just taking too much time walking this stupid dog? I mean, what would be your first reaction there? You'd be like, get the hell out of here.
Pretty much. But honestly, he walks the dog just as much as I do, probably more.
Yeah.
I do it in the morning when I'm off. Normally, he has to take him out if I work. So,
What kind of dog do you have?
A Cocker Spaniel.
And does it have a great name, like a human name?
Yeah, we talked about this the other day. His name is Louie.
Oh, we did
Louie,
talk
yeah.
to you. Yeah, okay, I remember talking to you
Well,
now.
I think this conversation, if anything, might be highlighting other people to check themselves before they take away someone else's happiness. If you have a spouse or a partner that does something that you don't quite get why they do it, but it brings them joy, step back.
Julie, if you were, and I just got one last question for you. If you were put in a position where you had to kill either Kat or myself to save
Wow.
your family's life, who would you kill first?
JJ would definitely
Be Kat. She was saying Kat. She said JJ would definitely be Kat.
I love the definitely.
Why
was amazing.
Why definitely? What have I done to you? I said you had a nice sounding dog and everything. I've been kind and
You just
polite
talk
and everything.
A lot. You just talk a lot.
Honestly, JJ, sometimes some of the things you say is a little edgy and a little rough.
Yeah.
You know what?
I
Maybe,
don't-
maybe you need to be less soft. Maybe you're a dandelion.
I think there's a good middle there.
I don't know about that.
All right, well, I don't like your dog anymore.
Well, no, I agree with
Need
you.
to be.
And thank you.
I think
for
your
the
husband's right about dog walking the dog and you can't. So
We'll talk to you later.
I wanted to explore irrational fears with you for a second because my neighbor, as I was out yesterday, just kind of picking up sticks because I'm going to try and mow the lawn maybe one last time this week. And then, obviously pick up leaves and stuff like that. But he had said, hey, are you really afraid of clowns? And because he listens to the show, and I said, well, yeah, I don't know where it comes from. I didn't, ever have a really bad run-in with a clown. And he's like, that's so irrational. And I'm like, it is till the clown kills you.
Yeah.
So I see it as a rational fear. Do you have anything that's irrational other than running out of gas?
Well, it was the combo of running out of gas with like the hills have eyes, So I could run out of gas and probably hoof it to like a holiday if I knew one was nearby. But it is like the environment I don't know about. I did just watch Final Destination this past weekend, and there are a lot of things that you're like, man, that could happen. Irrational fears like screwdriver sitting on a racetrack. You don't know if that tire picks it up and goes right for your aorta, and then you're done. So that would be an irrational fear. And that's why I don't go to watch race shows.
New irrational fear was unlocked a couple of weekends ago. We took my wife's EV to Iowa and back, and I rolled into a supercharger with 2 miles left in the car, and we could have been stranded in the middle of a cornfield.
That's a totally rational fear, not irrational. Like, that could happen to you.
Partner did. Let's get to Rich here real quick because you've got an irrational fear for us.
I'm walking into my bedroom, but the lights are out, and I still think when I walk to the bed that there's going to be like a hand that comes out and like grabs my ankle before I, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
And you had mentioned that you do 1, 2, skip a few on your way up from your basement.
Only in my parents' basement. Like my basement, I don't get the chills, but my parents' basement, there's something a bit sinister about that walk.
Older houses with wooden steps and the light out always is scary.
And one of these days, I'm going to be proven correct. Something is going to come out about this house.
It's a Monday morning and Kat's a no-show, and we start calling around, and then we get a call from her dad. Yeah, well, the basement got her. It finally got her. She's not going to be able to show up.
That's so true about something grabbing you from under the bed. No matter how many times you tell your kids, you're like, there's nothing underneath there.
So where do kids get that from?
I don't know.
Is that
maybe
dad?
Maybe like when you're a kid, you know how you see things that adults don't see because we're so jaded? Maybe they do actually see stuff. And then we're like, you guys are idiots. No, there's nothing there when there might be.
That's dad trying to be funny to scare his kids at one point when mom's not around, isn't it? You go, that's going to get you. There's something under the bed. There's a monster under the bed. Good night.
Let's begin now.
So I come home from football practice yesterday after being out of the house since 3 a.m., hustling for my family. And I walk in the door. Cars are everywhere at my house. Not a single person to be seen. And as I make my way through an empty house, I notice everyone just waiting for me to light the grill.
You haven't taught them yet?
No, they've all been taught extensively how to light the grill.
They're all outside looking at the grill, waiting
Hands
for
on
you
hips,
to get home.
A whole big plate of burgers ready to be grilled up. Mm-hmm. Said, hey, guys, what's going on? My wife looks at me. Can you start the grill? Now, my son, who just graduated with a very prestigious degree in May, has already left the scene because he's so frustrated. My wife can't light the grill. The other kid is asleep. The other pre-med student had been consulted, but she couldn't figure it out.
Is it one of those where you're just better at it than them?
You mean...
You know how they don't want to do it and then they'll just...
You mean where I turn the gas on the gas and then I turn the burners on and then I press the button and it goes boom?
Because they could have easily had the burgers ready, plated up for you to eat instead of have you grill them. So I'm thinking they think you're better at it than them.
No, my wife decided to grill the burgers.
Oh.
She seasoned them. She flipped them.
Then I don't know what's going on.
They just couldn't light the grill. And I pressed a button and it went whoom.
Yeah.
And I looked around and thought, what the hell has happened to my life?
Yeah.
I'm approaching 50. My body's breaking down at a tremendous rate. And the people I rely on the most can't cook food.
Your life is going to hell.
It's a scene. How was your day yesterday?
It was great. Got a lot done. Went and had my laser facial, which you could still win by texting the word TIGHT, TIGHT. Text that to our phone number, and I'll find my winner tomorrow by noon. Had that done. Went and I every now and then I'll do like a selfie or a video or something, and I see a little sparkle, a little gray, and I have like 7. And I said, no. So I went and got those touched up.
You don't pluck them?
No, I don't. I just want to get them covered up. And then I got my toes done, ran to Starbucks. I have like too much time on my hands now that Liam has football right after school.
Wait till he gets his license. You're
I
not
know.
going to know what to do with yourself.
I find myself like watching the clock, waiting to go get him. And I'm like, I can't run any more errands. I don't want to spend any more money. There was a guy at Starbucks. So I put my order in and I had to go pee so bad. So I was like, can I have the code to the bathroom? She goes, sure.
Which is ridiculous, by the way.
Well, I get it. Downtown, there are some transients that go in there to like bathe and will take up too much time in there. Gross. No.
Why can't you listen? If you're a homeless person, why wouldn't you let them bathe?
I don't know. I mean, like in the sink where your hands are being washed, they're doing all their
It's
their
not
stuff.
like they're putting it back into the water source.
I don't know where stuff's flying or being flung. Anyway, so I walked by him and a fly had gone in front of his face. He looked like Paul Giamatti, and he was like all set up, like he had been there all day with his workstation. And he swatted the fly and then yelled at it. And I'm like, people are losing their minds. He was like, there you go. There you go. Don't come by me again. I was like, oh my God, I got to get my coffee and get the heck out of here.
I would have stayed for a while, see how that went down.
KCLD Playoffs.
All right, good morning, guys, and welcome in. Glad you could go along for the ride with us. Next chance at free money high-low, by the way, a lot of people are asking, is coming up here at 3 o'clock with the Derek Lee. I'm JJ Katz here as well. And basically the big question we have for you this morning is, what happened on your wedding day that was probably a pretty accurate predictor that the marriage just wasn't going to work?
So maybe the obvious, you found out on your wedding day that they had cheated on you, or something happened at the bachelorette party that wasn't told to you until the day of, which, man, you got to be careful with that stuff. But was there something looking back and you were like, that is probably the reason why it didn't work?
First text we got from 3345, my now ex-husband threw a fit and caused a giant scene, yelling and screaming at me.
Why was he there?
Because he thought I was cheating on him.
Oh, he was the groom.
Yeah.
Okay.
The day of our wedding with one of my girlfriends. From that day on, I started walking on eggshells every day. Fast forward to we're not married anymore.
Yeah. Some people just aren't meant to be married.
My wife and I, before we were married, we were still dating. I think we might have even been engaged. Went to one of her friends' weddings. And at a church kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and they go to light the unity candle right at the end of the ceremony, and a big gust of wind comes in from the back of the church and blows out both of the individual candles and the unity candle.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God. And it was really loud. And everyone's kind of looking at me. I'm like, there's no way that's God saying this isn't going to work. They didn't last 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
I hate to be a predictor of something like this. Andrea, what happened that kind of got you to know that it wasn't going to work out?
Before my wedding, I had to bail my bridesmaid out of prison or jail.
Oh, my God. What landed her in there?
It had to be booze.
It was parking tickets.
Oh, they took her to jail because of parking tickets?
She still hasn't paid me back.
You had to pay the
Wow.
tickets to get her out of jail, and then I'm guessing there was a fee?
That was my money for food at my wedding.
Wow.
This crumbled
I had
fast.
to pull all my money out of all my bank accounts before the government took my money.
Yeah, but why? Why did you feel you had to do that? She didn't have any family or other friends?
All of my stuff was connected to my husband when we were getting married.
And at this point, you're thinking, all right, everybody's going to know that my bridesmaid is missing. It's going to look awkward up on the altar. Let me bail this girl out. She's a friend, and you spend all your money. She still hasn't paid you back. The question is, did the marriage last?
We're divorced.
Oh, my God. And do you talk to her anymore?
I still have phone.
What?
Fortnite. Sorry, somebody else was talking to me.
Okay.
Oh, well,
do you
focus
still,
on us.
Do you still talk to this girl?
Don't talk to me in a Fortnite costume.
I what you're
She's talking to someone else. All right. Do you still talk to this girl that you had to bail out of jail?
I messaged her about giving me some money so I didn't go to jail.
Okay,
Wow.
so just bottom line is the only thing you really communicate with her anymore is give me the dough you owe me from the marriage that I had that failed.
Oh, maybe.
3 chances at up to $5,000 and 1 chance at $4,000, all between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. during our live show Thursday morning. Right now, let's wrap up the podcast.
So what do you have for your doorbell? Do you have a Ring?
Yeah, we have a Ring doorbell.
Okay. They are now asking people to send in doorbell cam footage of ghosts.
Stop.
You'll have a chance to win $100,000 towards a purchase of a new non-haunted home. So whether you catch it outside, you can't quite explain what you see on your camera, but something tripped it. Something had motion for it to turn on and capture it and send it to your phone.
The wind?
Or an orb or something. So if you feel like you have something paranormal, save it and then send it to one of those ghost shows, but also send it to Ring because you could score $100,000.
Mine is full of my wife's back leaving and the Amazon guy.
Okay.
That's it. Reggie, our Amazon guy.
You don't catch anything like sensational or funny or cool.
Our neighbor's dog Percy is on there quite often. And
that's that.
That's about it.
Boring.
Well, because ghosts aren't real.
My brother and
How about
sister-in-law, they caught the funniest thing. So my niece was born around Halloween and she was born early. So she was in the NICU during Halloween. So my brother ran home and put a bowl of candy out on the front step and it said, just take one or a couple, like a little handful or whatever. And it showed these teen boys, 3 of them, army crawl up to it like they were trying to elude the camera. Army crawl up to the bowl, try to take a bunch. Then the bigger one of the bunch stood up and then tried to run away and fell and just laid there. And all you hear on the camera is, oh, it was the best. So if you have any paranormal things caught on your Ring doorbell cam, send it into them. The contest runs through November 1st.
And then you get a new house that's not haunted?
Yeah.
And then you won't be saying,
I see dead people. Money.
Our coulda, shoulda, woulda game has the title because often when players lose at this, they're like, coulda, shoulda, woulda said that. Katie, how many times do you think you've heard this game?
Oh, probably 100.
Do you roll your eyes every time being like, if I could just get through, I would win that?
No, I've played probably like 4 times and lost.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, geez, you got a horseshoe up your butt. So let's play again and see if you can win. So again, the game is relatively simple. You're going to choose to play with either Kat or myself, and then you're going to be issued 5 words. All you have to do is tell us which words pop into your mind. And if you match up with one of us, you got $3,000 today because it's Wednesday. So who gives you the best chance at winning here, Katie?
I'll play with Kat today.
All right. So we'll let Kat make her way out of the studio, and I'll explain the rules real quick. I'm just going to give you a word, and you tell me which word pops into your brain. We'll do the same with the same words when Kat gets back in the studio. And if you guys match up, you find yourself $3,000 richer. Why Kat, by the way? What do you think gives you the distinctive? Are you taking your yeast infection cream with her? Go ahead.
No, not today.
No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Kat. I'm sorry. She was taking her cream with her.
Oh.
So what do you think makes her and you sync up the most?
I'm not really sure.
You have kind of a delusional perception of reality?
Yeah, normally.
Yeah. Okay, good. Then you guys should be lined up. Let's go, Katie. What is the first word that pops into your mind when you hear the word twin?
Sibling.
How about the first word you think of when you hear oven?
Knit.
Yeah, good one. Katie, how about the first word you think of when you hear stick?
Twig.
All right. How about the first word you think of when you hear panther?
Panther, like the animal?
Yeah.
Let's go with animal.
And last word, the first word that pops into your brain when you hear the name Jason.
I don't think I know how to pronounce his last name correctly, but it's like Sudeikis.
Sudeikis,
Is that how
okay,
you say
yeah.
it?
The guy from We're the Millers?
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, let's bring Kat back into the studio and see how we do here. Remember, if she matches up the exact 5 words that you gave us, you got yourself $3,000. What are you going to go buy with all that money? There's got to be at least something on your radar that you want to buy.
Well, I just celebrated a birthday, so maybe a late birthday.
What did she
gift.
say?
Happy birthday. She just celebrated a birthday, so she wants to spend some money on stuff that the loved people in her life didn't get her. So,
What birthday was it?
Exactly. 27.
Oh, man.
you sound a lot older for what it's worth.
I remember.
Let's go.
That's not a compliment.
I'm going to enroll him in a class today. He needs to shut his mouth.
All right, Kat, you match up the same 5 words as Katie just gave us, and you got yourself a new best friend, and she's got herself $3,000.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the ones that I think are the best odds. Kat, what is the first word that pops into your head when you hear the word oven?
I could say oven mitt. Oven. Bun. Yeah. I'm going to say oven mitt.
Yes.
Oh, my God. He did a smirk. And sometimes that smirk could be you just lost it for her, or
I want Katie to win.
right answer. Okay, here we go.
For $3,000. Kat, what's the first word that pops into your brain when you hear the name Jason?
I love horror films, but I doubt you said Voorhees. Jason Momoa. Did you say Alexander?
No.
Jason.
Jason Sudeikis.
Sudeikis?
That's what I would have said,
Nobody
too.
thinks about Sudeikis.
I thought because he just had a birthday a couple of days ago and we mentioned it. All right. Well,
dang it.
Katie,
Okay.
the dream is over and nobody loves you on your not birthday as well, apparently. So let's run through the rest of these. Kat, what's the first word that pops into your mind when you hear the word twin?
Twin bed.
I would have said twin cities. She said twin sibling.
Twin sisters, sibling. Okay.
How about the first word that pops into your mind when you hear stick?
Stick. Poke. I hate this game. I don't want to do it anymore.
She said twig.
Okay.
And the last one, this was a tough one, but I really thought you'd get it. What's the first word that pops in your mind when you hear the word panther?
Black.
That's what I would have said too. She said animal.
Oh, my God.
All right.
All right. It wasn't 100% me. It was a little bit you.
I don't know. I thought Katie
Yeah,
did
I take
great.
fault.
Yeah, definitely.
If Kat wasn't out there rubbing cream everywhere on herself, you probably would have had a better chance at it, but she got a little unfocused. So
Okay.
no chance at the money this morning. She just what?
Got vinaigrette all over myself.
See,
on
she's
my
rubbing cream
cucumbers.
all over herself. She's got vinaigrette. Who else eats vinaigrette
No,
at
it's all over my
8:43 in the
shirt.
morning?
I had places to go today.
Katie, I'm sure you got stuff to do. Have a great day.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo what bingo? Bingo! Bingo!
All right, so here's how listener bingo works. You can't get through yet because, well, phones are on hold and we haven't told you what we're looking for yet. Kat and I each looking for something very specific from you. So, for instance, Kat's looking for anyone listening who
has ever made a donation. Like you've ever made a donation of yourself.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
now.
with the idea of helping a couple expand their family. People are now starting to hop on this Netflix documentary that I told you about, Man with 1,000 Kids. And he's from the Netherlands and he's got beautiful blonde hair. But then he became like intertwined with this really bad guy that no one wanted his donation, you know? So he felt like put out. And he's this bald guy and dumb. Like when
What's wrong with being bald and dumb? I'm getting by.
I said it. I shouldn't have said it. But nobody wanted his donation because he didn't stack up with the right genes. But then this blonde guy was like, all right, I'm going to pretend like yours is mine. And he gave it. And he has he has hundreds and hundreds of kids.
After 6 months, I could find out, and they said you have already 5 children conceived with your sperm. So
after 6 months.
Yeah,
Okay,
in just 6 months he has those, but he goes to 6 clinics and just donates every single week. Donates. And at one point in one area of like a 5-mile radius, he had 100 kids. So it's really dangerous if they start to date each other or fall in love. That's incest. That's like, yeah. So they're trying to figure out how dangerous it is. So,
But this guy's just doing work.
it's dangerous work.
He rolls.
I know
mean,
he's doing it for the money.
He rolls in, grabs a magazine, goes to work.
He said it doesn't even need a magazine. Says he goes in.
Just for humankind.
Yeah.
He's just that good of a guy. Okay, so you're looking for anyone listening who has made a donation to a sperm bank.
Correct.
I'm looking for anyone listening who has never owned a vehicle, a car, a truck, an SUV, a motorcycle. Like you've never owned, and I'm not even talking like lease. Lease counts, all right? But you've never yourself said, that's my car. That's my truck. You've always relied on public transportation, rides from others. You could get by now with as many Uber and Lyft services that are out there with probably never having a vehicle. I don't know if it's cost effective. I haven't done the math. But I'm looking for anyone listening who has never owned a vehicle. You've never driven your own ride. Tiara, which one do you fit?
I definitely fit with the transportation.
Yeah, you've never owned a vehicle of your own. You never said, that's my car, that's my truck, that's my SUV.
In my dreams.
Okay. Is this just because you've found a way to get by on public transportation, or you've just never had the resources to get your own car?
No, I just I prefer getting driven around.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license?
Nope.
So you never got a license or a car. This is crazy. What do people say to you?
Nothing. Now, I kind of had a car, but, you know.
No, I don't. That's why you're listening to us on the radio 15 seconds after what we're saying. You have to turn your radio off real quick.
So I don't know if I could live that life of being driven around. I would barf all the time.
So where are you going today? Where are you going to go?
I don't really go nowhere. I stay in the crib.
Okay. And you're just not going to go. Well, how about this weekend? If you decide you want to go somewhere, you call an Uber or you call a friend?
Call a friend, hop in the car with them. We outside at the carpet.
Okay, and then will you give them like gas money, or are you just like, hey, you're just going to take me wherever I want to go?
Nope. Gas money.
Okay, that's nice.
When I go out, we be literally down the street.
Let's say you won a big
it's really
contest
walking distance.
on our radio station. Let's say you won $5,000. Would you buy a car?
Yep.
Okay, and then you'd have to go get your license. Do you think you'd pass your license test?
Yeah, it ain't that bad. Pretty sure the rules ain't changed.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, I don't even know why we're making a big deal out of this. People in New York walk miles and miles and miles every single day just to get where they have to go, because you cannot, if you have a car in New York City, you make a lot of money.
Yeah, but you have to, right, because you have to pay to park it.
Yes.
And it's insane to go anywhere and not double park and have to run in.
It's fiscally responsible to not have a vehicle in cities like that. So if you were to walk.
Also, they're trying to change the law now with people that have homes. They're trying to say that their driveway would consider 2 parking spots.
Oh, I get it. If we could buy you your dream car, since you've never had one, what would it be?
Just a regular Audi or an Impala, nothing too fancy. I'm an old school, so.
I like that. All right. Well, hey, thanks for checking in. Always good to talk to you. I hope you have a really good day today.
Thank you. You
Take
too.
care.
Speaking of
Have a blessed
fancy,
day, y'all.
sat in
You too.
Robin's Aston Martin yesterday.
Yeah?
Oh, how the other half lives.
She let you in there, huh? She make you wipe your feet and
She
everything?
wouldn't even. Well, first I was like looking at it. She's like, "Don't look at it." And then I said, "Can I just sit in it for a second?" Man, it was gorgeous.
So the other half lives.
Yeah, I know.